Today, this episode, it could be the biggest trial and tribulation of our dear Phoenix Wright's career. And we are gonna see it all the way through. And hopefully, have a great old time with it. Welcome to the hopeful finale episode in my playthrough in Ace Attorney 3 Trials and Tribulations, part of the Ace Attorney trilogy. And if all goes well, this is going to be our last foray, at least on stream, into the Ace Attorney trilogy. Closing off one very big chapter and one big old section of our Ace Attorney chronology playthrough that I've been doing for goodness knows how long. But having fun with it all the same. So we're into the nitty and the gritty of the final part of the Bridge to the Turnabout case today. Are you ready? Because I certainly hopefully am. And let's get it going. But before we do, welcome to the video in Twitch land or in YouTube land, wherever you end up watching this and hopefully enjoying it. You want to let me know if you are watching this in YouTube land. If you let me know you want to enjoy it, you can like and comment on the video. You can also subscribe to the channel and click the bell as well. You get notifications for future uploads that we do. And yeah, at this point, hopefully, future series in the Ace Attorney chronology playthrough. Because as I said, tonight, hopefully we're going to be able to gun at this and get to the end of Bridge to the Turnabout to wrap things up on a very trying and all the same very exciting case. We left off last time having finally, hopefully, exorcised the demon that is Dahlia Hawthorne. We dealt with them, but is one more twist to the tale. Because after that whole ordeal, who should be called to the stand to testify but our dearest friend Maya? It is up to us. It is up to us to do the it seems like it's up to us to do cross-examinations of our dear friend. And after they themselves have gone through quite a bit of an ordeal and all of this, I don't know how this is gonna end. All I know is, we gotta play to find out. So we start here, back in the defendant's lobby, after exercising Dahlia, hopefully out of our heads forever, finding out that they, in particular, were the Iris on the stand. They were just having a ploy and playing as Iris. And, yeah, the entire reason they came back is because they were just a demon girl with a vengeance that they had to, unfortunately, come back from the grave to try and enact their vengeance. Luckily, we managed to thwart that in many ways. One being that their vengeance was due to be on Mia Fey, but they couldn't actually do it on Mia Fey themselves because Mia Fey is also passed on. So they thought the next best option was, let's get Maya Fey instead, and that will get back at Mia. But the thing is, in order to protect themselves, they got the warning beforehand, and Maya actually channeled Dahlia first in order to protect themselves from Dahlia. Which was ingenious, actually, when you think about it. And then thus, working out that because of Maya channeling Dahlia through, they weren't able to go through with their stuff, and we put them away, hopefully for good. Exercise them with the shame of being just a terrible little girl who, yeah, thoroughly not a nice person. But it was very exciting. And now we find ourselves here after the real Iris, who is now in front of us now, has been freed from the cave where they were trapped in. It ended up being them being trapped in the training cave. And yeah, this is the revelation now that next we come in, Godot still wants to get Maya to testify after everything that she has been through. So bloody heck, we're gonna get it going. How hard is this to explain? It is a little bit. Like, yeah, because this case is one of those big long ones at the end of the game, you know, it kind of has to be, and I do get that. Anyway, we're going to continue with our run here, but just before we do, I realized I did not test my voice mod, so we should be now speaking as if we are reading thought text or flashback text. And that should work as intended. And then we can quickly change that now that now that my voice mod's gotten warmed up for that. And we should be ready to go. Alright. Welcome in, NHL fan. Yes, we're doing good. I hope you are too. We are just about to get started here. Let's go. I'm truly sorry about everything. You were working so hard to defend me. But I was missing all day, and we didn't even have a chance to talk. Yeah, she's right. When I met Iris at the training hall yesterday, they had already switched places, and Iris was inside the sacred cavern. I wanted to at least be in the defendant's box today to root you on. Well, it wasn't your fault. You were locked up this whole time. There's something more important than that, though. I have to ask you, why did you help your sister out as much as you did? Huh? If you tried to get help at the sacred cavern yesterday, you wouldn't have spent an entire day locked up in there. My sister? I felt sorry for her. She was abandoned by her mother and never got any love from her father either. Yeah, I see that. I don't know if that's an excuse to, take it out on the entire world, though. Take it out on other people's. You can absolutely come out of that a better person. It's kind of the payoff of the entire game so far. You have to sort of explain 3-1 and 3-4 as well to understand the involvement and, the entire motives. Yes, but it was the same for you too, wasn't it? Yes, but at least I had Sister Bikini, who was like a mother to me. If only Dahlia had gone with me to Hasakura Temple. I always loved her. Dahlia was always so smart, so strong, and she never complained about a thing. That's why I promised that I would help her. Are you talking about the fake kidnapping case 11 years ago? Yes. I wanted to be useful to her in some way. But as usual, I was too cowardly, and at the last minute, I ran away. Because of that, Dahlia's stepsister, Valerie, ended up... And that was the case that wounded Mia so badly. But things didn't end there, of course. Some people suspected that my sister was involved in the murder. Some people? Oh, you must mean... Yes, 2 defense attorneys. Mia Fey and Diego Armando. After poisoning Mr. Armando, who was getting too close to learning the truth. Dahlia even tried to kill the person who didn't knowingly hid the poison for her. You. That's right. Iris, there's one more thing I have to ask you. Yes? What is it? On the night of the murder, the person that cleaned up the corpse of the victim, Elise Donim, was it really you? Yes, it was me. That night, after I rang the lights out bell, I went back to my room. At around 10:30, I received a call on my cell phone. Gotta get ready to telephone voice now for this one. There's a problem. Come to the inner temple right away. I got in a snowmobile and headed for the inner temple. But... the path to the inner temple was cut off, right? Exactly. We can't just leave the body here. So you've got to do this exactly as I say. Got it?
It was me. I was the one that received her body. The murder weapon had been left in her body so she wouldn't bleed too much. The staff that Mr. Khalees always held.
I knew it. So the actual murder weapon was the staff.
Yes, that's right. I brought the body back to Hazakura Temple in a snowmobile.
But why? Why did you alter the body?
I didn't want anyone to know that the staff was the murder weapon. I didn't want to leave anything that would lead back to Misty. So I dressed her in a robe and stabbed her with the Shichishito. I wiped the blood of the staff's blade and left it right next to her in the ground.
Iris, just tell me one last thing. Tell me the name of the person that called your cell phone. The real killer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I can't do it. I can't say who did it.
I see. The victim's staff is now updated. The actual weapon used to murder the victim. It was just wiped away. Defendant!
Yes?
The judge is calling you! He wants to see you in his chambers! He has some questions about Dahlia Hawthorne!
Alright. Well then. See you later. There's something I want to tell you.
Oh, okay. Was something she wants to tell me? So it's true. Iris cooperated with the real killer. Maybe even from the very beginning.
Phoenix.
Mia! How is Maya doing?
Physically, I'm not worried. She'll recover completely. But emotionally, she's been hurt very badly by this case.
I see. You don't mean... She's learned who Elise Donim really was?
Yes. I went to the medical office and talked with her. I told her everything I knew.
But why?
Maya is stronger than you think. I knew she could take it. All of it.
What do you mean by that?
I want you to figure that answer out by yourself. The trial is about to restart. The real killer. Do you know who it is yet?
But Iris wouldn't tell me who called her. But still, I think that just maybe, I know who it was. That night, the victim was killed in the garden of the Inner Temple. And the criminal wasn't just there by accident. Which means that the killer knew of Dahlia's plan from the very beginning.
And one more thing. The victim was moved to the Hazakura Temple by pendulum. In other words, the criminal couldn't cross the bridge. That means they were stuck on the Inner Temple side for almost an entire day.
Exactly. So the culprit was someone that wasn't in Hazakura Temple the following day.
That's as much help as I can give you. The rest of the battle is yours to win, or lose.
Okay, I've got it. Thank you, Mia. Finally, it's almost time to bring this case to an end. What exactly did Maya see anyway? And who was it that actually killed Misty Faye? Whoever it was, I have to prove it. Me. All by myself. Me, myself, and I. Alone. Alright, and that's the little recess bit before we actually begin the final trial by fire, as it were. So let's save it over. Let's hydrate before we keep going. And it did say to be continued. Right the heck now. And we go until the end, baby. February the 10th, 3:36 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. With just me and Godot to do battle. Now then, before we proceed any further, I'm going to announce the results of the tests we had performed earlier. The tests? Yes, tests on the bloody dagger that was found stuck in the pine tree. Oh, yeah, that. I totally forgot about it. That's the weapon that Meyer Fey used when she fought with the victim. So, what are the results? Was it the victim's blood? Or, due to time constraints, a full test wasn't possible. However, there's one thing we can say with certainty. The blood that was on this dagger was not the victim's blood. That is all. So it was not Elise Denim's blood. It wasn't Misty Faye's blood. Okay. Now then, let's restart this trial. So it wasn't Misty's blood on the dagger. Then whose was it? Alright, the blood doesn't match the victim's. That's all we know about this dagger. I'm sure both the defense and the prosecution know this, but this trial is rapidly coming to a close. Both sides will need to show some firm evidence with their claims. I understand, Your Honor. From what I've heard, the witness is dangerously weak, physically speaking. So let's finish this quickly. Agreed. Very well, please bring in the last witness. And it has to be our very best friend. Witness, please tell us your name and profession.
Maya Fey. My profession is, I'm the assistant manager at Red & Co. Law Offices.
Maya. According to the magazine I have here, you're the spirit medium of the Kurain channeling technique.
I'm frightened. The Fate Clan. I don't want any more to do with it.
Oh, Maya. The pain the Fate bloodline causes must be unbearable. Very well. Now then, Miss Fey. When the event occurred, you were in the garden of the inner temple. And you witnessed the moment of Miss Elise Donim's murder. Is this correct?
I didn't see it.
Objection! Straighten up this instant, young lady.
Huh?
Pick your head up and speak clearly. There's always time for crying later.
But
Your mother was killed right in front of your eyes. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. But there's something you can do. You can finish this. You've been watching the whole thing, right? You've seen the witness come out and you've seen us squeeze the truth out of them. Now it's your turn. Let's hear your testimony. On the night of the crime, what exactly did you see happen? Witness, if you please.
Yes, Your Honor.
We are gonna put this girl through turmoil. I'm not sure how to make that. I don't know how I'm gonna handle this. But alright then. At the inner temple.
I was passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room when it happened. Suddenly, someone struck me over the head. I stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. I think I screamed, "Help me!" Then something warm splashed over me. That's when I lost consciousness.
So you were struck on the head. I suppose it must have been the staff. Maya! The person who hit you. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it?
A I'm sorry, Nick. I couldn't see. I don't know who it was.
Maya, think hard.
Sorry, Nick, but I really couldn't.
Can't say it was an especially good night for young ladies to be walking around alone. It seems that it will be hard to determine the criminal through testimony alone. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Maya, hang in there. She doesn't look well at all. That she does not. This is going to be excruciating. And I don't have my mistakes healed back from when I did that mistake. I think last episode out. But all right, we keep that penalty, and we just make sure that we try confidence saving as much as we can when we think we're about to do a major pick point in the testimony and thing. So just be on the ball with it, I guess. Right, pressing everything. Let's go. Hold it! Who else was on the inner temple that night?
Well, Sister Bikini, of course. But I remember her saying that Iris would be coming later as well.
On the day after the incident, Edgeworth met Bikini at Hazakura Temple. That means she couldn't be the criminal. So then, did Iris actually come later like she said?
Well, let me think.
She seems confused. It's probably because she's so tired.
No, I'm sure I didn't see her. She must have come while I was preparing for the training.
Okay, nothing new to that. Then someone struck her in the head. Hold it! Who did it? Who hit you?
Well, I didn't see who it was. I was hit from behind.
You didn't see the person? But after that, your attacker was in front of you. How could you not see who it was?
Oh, let me think for a sec. I'm sorry, I just can't remember.
Maya is really having a hard time. What should I do? Is there anything to gain from potentially putting her through it again, putting her through the ringer? I get no penalty for it, so I guess we gotta try. Thalmus, unfortunately. Come on, Maya, this isn't making sense. Why didn't you see this person?
Well, let me think. It was, Oh yeah, that's right! It was dark, that's it!
It was dark.
It's not good to have too much light around when someone's undergoing spiritual training.
Oh, come to think of it, there was early testimony to that effect as well. So it was dark on the garden on the night of the crime. Which is why she didn't see her attacker. I thought maybe she was trying to hide something, but I guess not. Judging by the testimony thus far, the identity of the attacker was most likely the spirit that was channeled by Elise Donim, Dahlia Hawthorne. Very well, please continue with your testimony. What happened after you were struck on the head? You stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. When you got whacked in the head, makes sense. Hold it! What happened afterwards?
My attacker was in front of me, blocking off my escape. I think.
You think?
After getting hit like that, I was in a state of panic. There were only two things rolling around in my mind at that time.
Well now, this is beginning to get interesting. So what were the two things rolling around in your mind?
My name is Maya Fey. 1 + 1 = 2. 9 + 10 = 21. You see, for some crazy reason, I was afraid I was going to lose my memory. I know it's odd considering my life was in danger, but that's how it was.
That's not odd at all. Your actions are understandable given the circumstances. So, what did you do then? Just think things that ground yourself to remember who you are, and ground yourself in reality, so that's, yeah, I think that's understandable, actually. Did you scream, help me? Did you really? Hold it! You think you screamed, but you're not sure.
Listen, I was a complete wreck! It was dark and I couldn't see my attacker. Was it a man? A woman? An adult? A child? I had no idea! I was scared out of my wits!
Believe me, my dear, I'm certain I would have sold my robes.
I thought this person might attack me, Anyway, I'm pretty sure I screamed. I thought that it was my last hope.
Wow, it sounds like poor little Maya really was out of her mind. But I wonder what she meant by last hope. What do I do? Do I press her for more details? Why was there a scream? Talk about my last hope.
Help me, Phoenix writes. You're my only hope.
She thought she would lose her memory like Phoenix in 2-1. Yeah, exactly how it was there. That's what Phoenix should have done. He should have thought that 1 + 1 = 2, and then he wouldn't have forgotten his entire memory before the start of the case. That's what he totally should have done. Okay, why the scream? So you're certain that you screamed, help me?
I think so. Now that I think about it, yeah, that's gotta be what I screamed.
Huh. Is it all that strange try for her to have screamed, help me? No, but something about that bugs me. Why would you face someone that's trying to kill you? And go through the trouble of screaming for help? Alright then, witness, go on with your testimony.
Oh, okay.
We'll keep it going, but then we'll have to go back to that one. In fact, before I read all these, we'll get back to that. I think I actually want to go back to that one and then press the other way around and say, what do you mean by my only hope? Let's keep going with that one. Let's go for it again. You think you screamed? Yeah. You don't know what to say. What is this about my last hope? Wait a minute, Maya. What's this my last hope stuff?
What? What do you mean by your last hope?
No. That's what you said. You said my last hope.
Huh, what? I said what?
Look. You were facing an attacker that you couldn't see, and you screamed, right? You screamed, help me!
Yeah?
Excuse me? But you testified that you screamed because you thought it was your last hope.
Oh, well, you know, that's, like... What do you call it when that happens?
Maya's not doing so well up there.
Oh, yeah, Oh, that's right! I remember now. I was facing my attacker, but that's not who I was screaming at.
What did you just say?
Yeah, that's right. It was the person behind my attacker that I was yelling at. That's who I was screaming for help. Ah!
What is it now?
I messed up. I didn't mean to let that slip out.
Huh? Witness, are you absolutely sure of what you're saying? Behind the attacker, there was another person?
I am... Well... I meant to keep that part a secret. What have I done?
Takes a ton of pressure to make a diamond. That's what I always say.
A ton of pressure.
You're in a court of law here. You can't make things up or try to hide things in this chamber. Witness, the information you just presented is vital to the case. I want you to add it to your testimony. So we shall.
I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern.
You could see a man behind you. Let's go through our list of men. We have a Godot. We have a Gumshoe. We have an AKA Larry Butts. An Edgeworth. So we have a choice of 4 men for this one. Okay, this will make things very interesting. Let's keep going. Right now I'm just buzzing with sort of ideas of like, which man could it be? And if it was that man, what would be their reason for doing it? That's what I'm thinking, but let's get some more info on this in particularly. Hold it! A man? Who is this man?
Well, you see, I couldn't see.
Do you see? Bullshit! You see, you're in a dark room! Oh, you were in a dark outside! You couldn't see? She's used this excuse twice now.
Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright.
Lantern light, did you say?
There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. They always let it up when an acolyte is there for training. Hey, you know what they say? Under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker who was closer. Plus, there weren't any other light sources in the garden at that time.
Oh, really? And then something warm splashed over you. I guess that would be the blout. Hold it! You don't mean... Was it...
I didn't know it at the time, but I think it was probably blood.
Is she saying that when Miss Donim, who was channeling Dahlia, was stabbed in the back by the killer?
At that moment, I was paralyzed with fear. I was just sitting there in the snow. I'm sure blood got on everything around me.
And that's when consciousness was lost. Alright. Hold it! So what happened next?
I don't remember.
How were you saved? You don't even remember that?
No. No, I haven't got any idea. I really don't know what happened at all.
That's too bad. I've worked side by side with Maya for 2 years now. I can tell when she's trying to hide something by how she acts. And right now, I'm absolutely certain she's hiding something. Passing through the garden on the way to a spare prep room. Someone struck you over the head. Stumbled and ended up against a stone lantern. You think you screamed, "Help me." I could see a man behind my attacker by the light of the stone lantern. So yeah, okay, strangely, the light illuminated the man behind you, but not the attacker in front of you. That is interesting. And it wasn't even lit at the time of the crime. It wasn't even lit at all. So sorry, girl. It's no wonder you're all in a tiz about your memory, because, yeah, the stone lantern was not even lit for the express purpose of there being somebody doing their training in the inner temple, so... That'd be why! That'd be why. I think we gotta go for this, then. Objection! Objection! I thought the music was continuing for a second there, which made me think, wait, have I got this wrong? But no, it just... I just couldn't hear it properly. So there was a man standing behind your attacker?
Yeah.
That man. He's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Donim, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother.
The killer.
Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she's in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed the huge problem with her testimony.
Huh? What do you mean? What problem?
Maya, on the night of the crime, that stone lantern was out of commission.
Huh? What?
It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night.
No!
I'm afraid so, girl. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Godot, explain this! Let me have a Joe first. Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee, and stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe au lait. Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? Is it even legal to have a milky coffee? Is that even legal? Your Honor, why am I under arrest? For putting milk in your coffee. How dare you think of such a thing? All coffee must therefore now be mandated to be drunk straight and black. Can you imagine the uproar? Like, man. Everybody who has their special Frappa mochachinos cannot get that anymore. They just have to put up with straight bitter coffee. Oh god, can you imagine? Mr. Trite's words are the milk, and you are the spoon, Your Honor. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. Who the heck are you calling a spoon, you spoon? I'm not a spoon, you're a spoon. You must have noticed it too, Trite. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not that hard to understand why she'd make a little mistake like that. Objection! Sorry, but that's not gonna cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness's last bit of testimony.
Nick?
May I? Recall the witness's last statement about their attacker. She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman, an adult or a child. And yet, the witness could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. And she quite clearly described him as a man.
Huh?
In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker.
No!
Order! Order! What in the world does this all mean, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch-black conditions? Objection! Trite. Do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? Did she have loads of carrots or something? Because there was no other light source at the scene. Objection! There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, you did see who the killer was in the dark. And now, you're trying to cover for him. Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is.
Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you.
Huh. You talk a good game, Trite. Let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black. So what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff.
No, Nick, don't. Please, stop.
Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. The man who murdered Maya's long-lost mother. But I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. All right, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you've got. Show me what you've got. Did I miss anything important? We managed to get a thing that Maya might have seen a figure of a man behind Dahlia being channeled, attacking her. I think we managed to have gotten that part. But the thing about it is, that was apparently behind the soul lantern. She was testifying that she was able to see because the lantern was lit, but obviously the lantern was not lit. We presented that against, and now we are trying to get her that Maya actually knows who this man is, and is trying to cover for them. So I think maybe going to get them on it, I think? Something like that. Also, Nanny by BSC, hello, welcome, get yourself in. Who was this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness? So we actually have to present a profile untowards. And if it was a man, that narrows it down to 4 people. Godot, Gumshoe, Larry, or Edgeworth. I don't see Edgeworth having a motive for this one. I think it would be something crazy if it was Larry. It was... I could think it was either Gumshoe going in for the protection, or it was... He seems to know you something. Yeah, seems to know a lot about you. And as the... God, I would say the only thing that would give him away that it was this person would be if they were able to see a set of red lights or something from the visor. I don't think you've got a reason because you're basically a silly. I don't think you have any reason either. Don't think. I can only see you wanted to be all heroic and protecting, but... If it was somebody who looked like Dahlia, I imagine this man would have all the grudges in the world as well, because at the end of the day, I think it's been hinted at that Dahlia is also the reason why Diego was poisoned. And if we have it right, this is Diego coming back from the pits of hell, in his own words. I can see it as being the only logical choice. Because if you're the Diego of before, you have all the reason to want the girl who tried to poison you out of the picture. You have all the reason for it, my dude. You've got something dark and testy up your sleeve here. So we're gonna go for it. Take that! Because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? But how do you propose to show us something like that? Oh, it's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, the defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. And all you see... But it can't be! That was a nice bit of deduction, trite. And all the other 3 men were all at Hazakura the next day. They were as well, yeah. Edgeworth having to piggyback Iris about until the earthquake happened. Larry, because he was just doing Larry things, and Gumshoe because they were investigating all around the place and they were in the courtyard of the temple, so... Yeah, the only person who we didn't see was Godot. We only saw Godot in the inner temple's, outside the cave entrance. Doi, that's right, yeah! Alright then, and now that we have, put down the very, very likely reason how somebody like Godot could be seen in the pitch of black. That big visor thing gives it away. That's a fatal flaw choice, I'm gonna say. Yeah. But yeah, now that we have all that reason, we have no clue about Godot's potential alibi at all. We don't! But it was the only one of the 4 men who could have been at the inner temple site, because nobody else was able to cross that until the bridge was rebuilt very late on in the proceedings. And we never saw Godot at Hasakura Temple site. We only saw Godot at the inner temple site. So, we at least place him as the possible candidate for being the person who Maya saw. And we'll dive further into that when we come back from a break time. I think now is a good time to take it while we have the pursuit music coming on, and it'll be a good time for us to have a bit of a rest and recoup and see what will come next. So if you're going to take a break with us here, Twitch chat, this is going to be a great time to do so. YouTube land, there will be no break in the highlight. If you want to continue watching, you're free to do that, but this is a good time to also pause the video, go and do some self-care, and come back to us later. So yeah, please feel free to do that if you need to. And then when we come back, we will figure out what can we do further to place Godot at the scene of everything. What is the man's thing? What is the alibi? What is the entire modus operandi going on here? More may be coming to us when this series comes back. So yeah, I'll see you after the break, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. So we have seen that the answers may come from the very darkest of times. Quite literally in this case. Making things very interesting and placing one Godot right at the scene of everything. What the heck is this gonna mean? Well, let's do some more of this case and find out. Welcome on back, everybody. If you are watching this in YouTube land, don't forget to let me know if you are enjoying the video. You can like and comment down below. You can support the channel even further by subscribing and clicking the bell to get future notifications for future uploads. We'd love to have you on our journey, and we appreciate the support if you want to give it. So yes, after proving that it was possible that Maya could have seen Godot's visage at the scene from the pitch blackness because the visor glowy. Bit of a design flaw at the end of the day. Let's keep going. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Order! Order! Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? Surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing? Why aren't you denying it? Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you've got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Well, witness, answer the question.
You're wrong! I never saw that!
Maya!
I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man! For a totally different reason!
What? Not for the lights? Witness, Mr. Right, what in the— Objection. Stop your chattering, Your Honor. Chat, chitter, chat. Chattering? Yeah, your chittery, chit, chat. If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Don't make me repeat myself, I've done it once already. Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man.
Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but...
It's time for you to talk about the killer for realsies. Alright, let's go.
When I came to, I was just lying there on the trading hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. The torches were lit, and the body was gone. And all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man.
So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to think the killer was a man?
Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Your Honor,
No need to apologize. It's as Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. So... let's do a quick, photo scanning first. That's the fixed bridge. That's the Dusky Bridge after it had burnt down the following morning. We have the tracks photo there. Got Elise Name's crime photo there. The photo of Elise and the Hazako Temple that. So we don't have the yeah, we don't have the temple the inner temple garden photo. But yeah, we just have to imagine that around the foot of the stone temple is a load of cleared snow and just some brown dirt underneath. So we gotta say that there. Gonna take a shower real quick. Of course, you go do that. Yeah, but we will confidence save. We usually do after we do all of the pressing of all the statements, because I like to voice things, I like to read things and get everything that we need. So let's just go. You were lying there, excuse me, on the trading room floor when you came to. Hold it! So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right?
Yeah, I think it happened when the victim was stabbed.
So then the person that carried you into the inner temple? It could only have been the killer!
That's what I think too.
So the killer carried Meyer into the inner temple. Interesting. The place had totally changed when the time you got back. Hold it! Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with a crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
I don't know.
It looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather up some more information before I ask her again. Press more things and then come back to number 2. Okay, we will do that. The torches were lit, Gondor called for aid, and Ronan answered, and the body was gone. Yeah, why not? Okay. Hold it! The torches were lit?
Yeah, that's how I noticed that the whole scene had changed.
I'm gonna say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? The killer probably did them since it'd be impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if this is true, there's still one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? Now, that's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who would gain any advantage from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. Very well, let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. The snow around the lantern had been carefully cleaned up at the foot of it, yep. Hold it! So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow? And it did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural-looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
There were a lot of shovels around the inner temple, but they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use.
An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing that I can think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. The area right collapsed and ended up being splattered.
In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps. However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount. And that's true. He could have scooped up just the snow that was stained with blood. Wouldn't that be, like, possibly a bit more of a tell? I wonder. But Your Honor, how could I be guilty if you didn't see the opening cutscene to the case? I rest my case. Yeah, that's a joke, isn't it? Hello, Coffee Kangaroo. Welcome to what we're doing here. We are actually in Finale Town for case 3-5 here, so we are nearing the end of the game, actually. But we totally get we totally get it. Yeah, most of the cases are like, we just show you literally what it was all about, what actually happened, and you've got to go and figure it out when you already know what essentially happened. But yeah. That's funny. Yeah, good to see you. How you doing? It looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will help explain them.
You just assumed it was the man since the person who did that was, did that all alone, okay? Hold it! So you're saying that you never saw the killer, right?
Yeah.
But earlier you clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker.
Nick, I'm sorry.
The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. But for what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Okay, having pressed everything. Totally changed, the torches were lit, all of a sudden, yeah. So now that we talked about that a little bit, will we get more by going back to this? Because that's what you suggested. Let's go back to this. Naturally, the killer must have done it.
I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something what the killer desperately wanted to hide.
The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
You did?
Yeah. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence from me. For my sake.
What? Hiding it for you? Yeah. So many. This case is over. No, it's not. Okay, you're right. Show evidence. Yeah, I've been caught out quite a couple of times. Like, I'm not confident saving enough to be able to go back and redo an error. It doesn't make sense. Why would the murderer cover their tracks and try not to be caught? It doesn't. Pshaw the thought, really. Yeah.
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden...
She may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened?
Yes, I'm sure of that.
Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened.
I think it was for your sake, Right. Let's press on that a bit further then. Hold it! They did it for your sake?
Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Yeah, and if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of Karine, killed by own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? What motive is there to protect you? That is a great reason. A great and fabulous reason. This is where we're competent because I think that's all we're getting out of testimony-wise. So what do we have that could go against it here? Yeah, this was found by... This was found at the place as well, at the Inner Garden, just there. It was worn by Elise, the Karime Master Talisman. Just straight up given to you there. Opened once before. Let's check if we can get anything from the... As soon as you hit the lights up, you must channel her spirit. Use it when you channel her. Once this thing is done, burn the letter. Also make sure you don't tell anybody about it. Bravely roast the Master in the fires of Hades and bring our ventures to fruition. That was what Pearls was trying to follow, but didn't make sense out of it, so I don't think it was there. the one thing that points to it there is just the fact that we found the Master's Talisman. Just for Maya just to have on her own and just be left there. Interesting to think about, I would say. Right here, don't worry about it, it's gonna be fine. The killer cleaned up the evidence of what happened for your sake. Oh, but wait, something just came to me. Why still write your name in blood on the lantern to potentially incriminate you still? No, somebody still wanted to ping you. Somebody still wanted to ping you for it. And they also left a talisman just for you to just plainly pick up, because, like, yes, you are the master now, Maya. There it is for you, you're the master, but we're still gonna write your name on this stone temple, stone lantern in blood, to implicate you for it, which means that you will then lose the, you were then going to lose the rights to be the master of the, Karain technique, because you would have been put away for it. And then that would leave the door open for she who must not be named, currently locked up and probably pulling the strings behind everything here, to instill Pearls as the new master. So that their side of the family was now the master family. They wouldn't be one of the branch families anymore. So yeah, you say it's for your sake, then still, why was there your name in blood on the lantern? I think that's what we're gonna ping. Objection! The body of Elise Donim was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. Then, at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe that this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh? And what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godot. It's the message written in blood on the lantern. Ugh. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? Oh, you're right! Roger, but Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow, then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. Objection! But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all that snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's the fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Okay. Here's where we do another one of these. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? Because the killer wrote it to pin it on the crime on Maya, or the killer didn't notice it. It's entirely reasonable that but if they came back, if the killer came back to clean up their mess and remove as much incriminating evidence as possible, but they also lit the fires in order to see clearly what they were clearing away, I don't know if it's reasonable to assume that they didn't notice it, because they probably would have seen it there. Unless they really, truly, actually wanted Maya to take the fall. and take the fall as being the de facto new master of the family, and thus the master of the technique, and have them be put away to put away all the members of that side of the family, and thus leave the door open for another family branch to come in and take the reins. Ergo, she in jail right now who wants to put Pearl to be the new master so that her family can now be in control. Yeah. We're gonna go with... That's my... What about if the killer... What could the reason be if the killer wrote the message themselves? We already have it We already had it, I'm gonna say, didn't we already have it testified that, they wrote it backwards on their... I can't say it. You can say it again right here. Yeah, I can, but I'm not exactly that far behind anyway, so I don't think we'll lose too much. Anyway, but, yeah. I think we're gonna go for this option first. It seems like the one I could tie the most, like, sound reason to. Let's go for it. There's only one reason. One as obvious as Jim Armstrong and the Thong and the Riviera. If you're saying that, I think I got it wrong. The killer was trying to pin the crime on Maya. Huh? I think I got it wrong, but we'll let this play.
And Nick, I shouldn't have to be the one to tell you this, but if the killer meant to put the blame on me, then why didn't the killer leave the crime scene as it was?
Oh. That's a big penalty. Once again, you've been pointing that finger where it doesn't belong. Ah! Ow. Alright. So yeah, are we... Right, let's go back to this. Yeah, I'm not that far behind anyway, so... If it's not to put the prime on it... Is it just that the killer wrote it, but they'd have to write it in... A penalty in the metal nasal visited. Yeah, I know, Zara. If if it starts with something as silly as that, then I guess right away that I got it wrong, but I was willing to see it through because it's funny, you know. And then we just let it reload there. So yeah, what's the more likely reason then? Is it that they didn't see it when they were cleaning the thing up, or did they write the message themselves? I mean, are we still... are we still... Yeah, are we still chasing the thing that it was Godot at this scene? Aren't we chasing that? I've just realized. Because if we're pinning Godot as the guy who was there to do the thing and then clean up afterwards... Oh god, yeah, there's absolutely a reason why he wouldn't be able to see it. Why he wouldn't notice the writing at all, because again... Freaking rose-tinted goggles. This is such a flaw in your thinking! You want to be a prosecutor and deal with potentially seeing images with blood on them. And in this case, going out to places where there would be blood and you just didn't think that red was a... You didn't think this through. I'm so sorry, Mr. Man, you didn't think it through. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that the crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it.
But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that.
Godot's no normal person, though. You're right. There's no way any normal person would. What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? Him with the bloody visor. Take that! Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. And this is so much proving to be our undoing right now, mister. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot? This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented.
This lantern, there's something written on it. Oh, why? It's written in blood.
Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Mr. Godot, just a minute. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before, during the poisoning case at Tribulation. It's all coming back. This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on.
There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court?
Bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be?
Don't play games, prosecutor! The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron!
That's ridiculous! No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup, because it was red. It's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one who can't see them? 'Cause you're literally seeing through rose-tinted goggles, my guy!
So then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern?
Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. What a weird thing to say, Godot. Just what a weird thing to say altogether. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. After the lantern was submitted, Godot was literally shaken and somehow I don't think it's from a caffeine overdose. He missed the big spot when cleaning up. Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Donim, also known as Miss Misty Faye.
It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you.
Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on, how's a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there. Objection! In retrospect, look at Godot managed to get this far in his quest against Phoenix. A prosecutor who can't see red things like bloodstains would not last long in his career. Yeah, it's a freaking design choice to get a red visor. Why not just have something that, like, you know, those like blue light glasses you have on, like make a material out of that. Maybe that makes you see better. I don't know, but yeah, red was certainly a design choice. It was certainly a fatalist one in this case. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. This is rich. Do go on, Trite. The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow.
The snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all of that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not just take out just that area? Yes, why did he just take out that area? Oh, could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so, he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Objection. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Nah. Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He'd have been able to see just fine. It seems that once again, this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godot?
Mr. Tasman was read as well.
Hold it! Wait! Wait just a minute!
Maya? What is it, witness?
Mr. Godot, isn't the killer! After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection. Maya.
Huh?
You can't testify to something like that.
Wait, what do you mean? I mean, I don't like it, but I'm... Ah!
After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please, listen to me.
Maya, do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're gonna hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Ha. Nicely done, Trite. Very well, let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearly was there in the inner temple, too.
Little Pearly was there, throwing gravy all over the Misty Face scroll. Yes, we are aware of this. Go on then, what happened after the incident?
Pearly was also stuck in the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up.
Cheered her right up.
Who is this Pearly?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on! Pearly would never tell a lie! She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be!
Wow, real smart, Maya. You always know the best thing to say when you're under oath.
The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot! Let's just move on to the cross-examination. If the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but... Well, Mr. Wright? Let's get this cross-examination started.
Maya, no!
Maya, yes!
Definitely at some points during this game, it's like, Maya, no, stop it! Don't do that! Maya, no! And then she's like,
Maya, yes!
I'ma do it.
I'ma do it, Nick.
Alright then. Pearly was also stuck. I don't think we can disagree with that.
Hold it! So where did you think Pearl slept that night?
In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an acolyte's training.
But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place? It seems that Pearl's became very worried about Maya.
She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense.
Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Donim. Next morning, looked around, couldn't find anyone. Hold it! She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end?
Well, you see, Pearlie gets pretty scared when she's alone. And there wasn't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times.
The inner temple side is two structures, the training hall and a spare prep room.
And there's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it.
There was a storage shack too? Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined the storage shack all that carefully?
Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate.
So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack. It's a possible. When the bridge was finally fixed the next day, she was in the spare prep room, right? Hold it! Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge.
What do you mean?
I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I would at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge.
Oh, well, Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times.
Ooh, poor little girl. All alone like that. Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the Sacred Cavern. Dahlia Hawthorne, who was basically battling with the trick lock. She couldn't let anyone else see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed? Transferring everything from your laptop to your new PC.
Ooh, exciting!
Yep, understandable, no problem. And when Mr. Godot arrived in the temple the first time, that's when he did it. Okay, hold it! So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godot? That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question? Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness. No. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor. Touché, Mr. Wright. Oh, well, what do you have to say, Mr. Godot? Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I never would have visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains? I think I'll pass. So he had never visited the Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh? You want to say something, Trite? In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor. While across examining Maya, that is. Very well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the inner temple side, right?
Yes. Then Mr. Godot.
He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up, right? Hold it! He cheered her up?
That's what Pearlie said. She said she was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Shut it out. You're making me blush. This guy's really beginning to get on my nerves. In more ways than one. The truth is, there aren't many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style. Maybe I should ask some questions, Phoenix style. I think the third time is when it becomes less funny, Phoenix. Sorry about that. Don't forget it. I say absolutely don't forget it. Do we do cheering pearls up, or do we do the nature of his investigation? Let's go this way first. How do you cheer up a 9-year-old girl? What exactly did you do? So you cheer pearls up? When I found that little girl, the first thing she asked about was her cousin, Maya Fey.
Really?
The bridge had burned down and she was huddled up in that tiny shack with no heat. Even though she must have had a truly terrifying night out there, she asked about you before she said a thing about herself.
Really?
I noticed that you weren't anywhere on the inner temple side, but I couldn't find it in me to tell her that. So I gave her my last cup. With milk and sugar, to hide the bitterness of the harsh truth. Oh, what a sweet story! He had a thermos of coffee? Why doesn't that surprise me? There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the Inner Temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed at least Onim. Right, I think we do that again, and we go the other way when we ask, what is your Godot-style investigation? What is your Godot-style investigation all about, sir? What did you do? You said that you conducted an investigation on your own. Did you find anything? It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles! The only thing I discovered was the beauty in the trading hall. The beauty? Misty Fey, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Western tastes? Couldn't you find a stranger way to describe gravy? So from there, you headed for the prep room? What is that? What did Kadoji say just now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. You found the proverbial weak spots. Alright. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up after you run investigation. Okay. Hang on a moment. Let me go through that again. And see what it is. Here I was thinking blah 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 blah. Cut it out and making him blush, apparently. So we go back to this. You found anything? Went about as well as yours. You missed the bloody writing on the lantern. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the trading hall. Misty Fey naturally, clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Found Pearly first. Huh. What about this is meant to perk me up? Hang on, let's go for everything again. When the bridge was fixed, she was... Bella was stuck in the inner temple side on the night of the murder. She looked around, couldn't find anybody. When the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Godot was there for the first time. Pressing this again would be slightly different, do you think? Alright, let's go for it. Bear with me a moment. Hold it! So it was your first time on the inner temple side? Mr. Godot? That's funny. My imagining things or the defense just asked me a question. Please hold your questions for the witness. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor. Touche, Mr. Wright. What do you have to say, Mr. Godot? Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I never would have visited there. Freezing cold temple in the mountains? I think I'll pass. So he had never visited Hazakura Temple or the inner temple side, huh? You want to say something, Troit? It's just like I thought. Godot is lying. If his first visit to the inner temple really was after the incident, he shouldn't know about that piece of evidence. He shouldn't know about that piece of evidence. I'd say... Okay, so the only way he would have been able to see Misty Faye was from the scroll and describe her as such, and... How does he know how to describe Misty Faye as such? The only way that would have been possible if he had seen this before it got splattered with the gravy from on the night of the incident. Ha. This was not your first foray into this area, Mr. Rose-tinted man. We agree that Mr. Faye was very beautiful in her depiction on this scroll. But how the heck do you know that, boy? Objection! Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the inner temple was long before the murder took place.
Why do you say that?
Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll?
But Mr. Godot is right! That scroll shows a picture of my mother!
Maya? I know you know who it is, but there's something you don't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this! What's that wonderfully delicious smell? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy.
Gravy? But why gravy, Nick?
Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll up until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was Misty Faye.
Hold it! Wait a minute, Nick!
Yeah?
Take another look at the hanging scroll! Look! At the top! There's a crest there!
Ah, that's... It's the mark of the master, correct?
Exactly! So if you know the meaning of the mark...
Then you could guess that there was a picture of Misty Faye on there! No, true, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Oh!
Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place.
Oh, we're getting him. Oh, we're getting him.
Can I ask you just one little thing, Trait?
What is it?
This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was gonna be committed.
That's right! Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene.
Of course Mr. Godot knew about the plan.
Huh?
What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan?
Orders from Morgan Fay. Because this was the, This is essentially the plan. It was opened once before. Did Godot... I was gonna say, was Godot responsible at any point for Morgan Fay? Because if so, this opened once before. It must have been just by Godot's hand then. It could have been from everybody else. I guess... I'm gonna say, this is the only way that the plan would have been known. And it was open once before, so I guess this must be it. Take that! This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple.
And you still insist this crafty killer is me?
You bet I do!
But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
That's right! Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden!
If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out.
Yes, and what was that?
During a visit.
A visit?
Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping on the visit to the detention center?
Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot! Getting at him closer and closer.
Order, order! Mr. Godot, you're under fire again!
This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you! You were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder.
Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee.
I'm sorry for always asking, like I have to do every single time you spout your mouth on, but what does that mean?
It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the Inner Temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness?
That's right!
If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl's nothing but a stranger to me. I got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her.
Really, though?
I am what you see. I'm certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress.
Wow, chauvinist. One, I think you do have a reason, and two, wow, chauvinism.
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
It's simple there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I wonder why you get nothing. I mean, I get nothing from Godot with his anecdotes. He just have no way of knowing what the heck he's saying. However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
Maya, I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh? Okay, Trite. I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
After we have our next break of the stream, it is time to take one right about here, but let's just keep it going. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you.
What's this?
There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. I reckon I know who that person is. And it does paint a very clear picture as to why Godot would want to get involved. But we will reveal that answer after we take another quick break in the stream, because it's nearly time to run our next ad break and get that out of the way so you don't miss anything in Twitchland. There will be no break in the YouTube highlight either. You feel free to keep on watching if you want to, of course, but if you need to take a break, pause the video. Now's a great time to do so. Right. Who? You are not the father, Godot. Absolutely not. Nope, this is not a Maury situation. Definitely not. Not a Dr. Phil. Nope. This is a situation different altogether. The person that ties Maya and Godot together inextricably. And we will find out what the answer to that is after the break. So tune in and we'll figure it out then. See you in a few. What's the answer? What's the answer here that ties Maya Fey and Godot together inextricably? So there's the person. It is not them themselves. Who ties Godot and Maya Fey together? Well, let's point out who that is. But before we do, we will say a nice welcome back to you in the YouTube highlight, at least if you want to enjoy. If you're feeling like you're enjoying what you're seeing here, of course, do let me know. You can like and comment down below. You can feel free to subscribe and click the bell as well if you want to support the channel in a truly fantastic way. You can that'll let you know, hopefully, when future uploads come along through. Because don't forget, we may be getting to the finale of the Trials and Tribulations game here, but it is not the end of the Ace Attorney chronology. We have a bunch more games coming up in this series lined up for you, so the Ace Attorney stuff is far from over, so if you want to join us on our Ace Attorney journey, we would love to have you. But yes, who ties Godot and Maya Fey together? Who was it that Diego saw as a bit of a kitten all that time ago in his former life? Who would it be but the sister of Maya? And the one-time underling of Diego Armando for her very first case. He's still got a thing for Mia. What exactly is this thing? Let's get it going. Take that! There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister.
Huh?
Mia Fey. You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here! Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your Honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot, his real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. That name rings a bell.
It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia faced first time in court. The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked.
It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Mia, you can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients, that pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. Oh, I just remembered! 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned! Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all.
No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison really did a number in my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused.
That's terrible.
Apparently it was a miracle I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad.
For someone like me, for someone who has slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? The first was you, Trite.
Huh? Me? In case it was only when Mia showed up that he let Lou Acme gave his last testimony for Phoenix to cross-examine. Right. That soft spot all this time. Behind the visor. Behind that rose-tinted visor, there is a heart of rose underneath.
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did. Duh! You were the only one who was there to protect her. But you let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that! I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor?
My other reason for living? She goes by the name of Maya Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
A neat coincidence with the localization. Just as you can't see red on white, Godot ignores red white in blaming Phoenix for Mia's death. It wasn't planned though. Games 1 localizers didn't yet know Game 3 story, and in White's Japanese name, Masaru Konaka, the 3 kanji mean small, medium, and large. Ah, fair do, yeah. Ko, Naka, and Masaru. Yeah, you can read all those kanjis like that. Yeah, Ko, Naka, and that one like that. You can read as a full one for a name is Masaru. But yeah. You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Kurine village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fay was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearls' visit with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices. Accomplices? Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey.
But how did you contact my mother? She'd been missing for almost 20 years!
Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean officially?
What do you mean? You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government. Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Kurine had great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
She was always?
That's why. I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff.
Her staff? The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time in Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fey, if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price.
Mother.
That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean Pearls, don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne.
Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together.
We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan. But she never showed up.
She was worried and followed me to the inner temple.
That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What do you mean? If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
Huh?
As Master of Kurine, Misty Faye's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to. What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was gonna hurt Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case she needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Godot! Anyway. That's all I'm gonna admit to, trait. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're gonna have to do the rest yourself. The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Faye, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godot. Well, Trite, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing off once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own.
No, Nick! Please don't!
Maya.
I heard the whole thing. From my sister in the medical office. That's why I had to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too!
Maya, I know that!
Nick?
But even so, it doesn't absolve him of this crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Faye, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
All right, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
The final one, potentially, of the game, of the trilogy. Alright then, let's get going.
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
These red lights? I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden.
Things break, Trite. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? Looks like you still can't prove it. Maya is telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me. Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness. Oh, my word. The final tribulation. Let's get going. Hold it! Light shining in the dark? I don't think you could make a mistake about that.
Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. And I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Godot's mask either.
I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but... Must press! Get everything possible. But just after that, you turned towards the lights and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember. After all, there was a person I couldn't identify in front of me.
Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly. Alright then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights? Don't walk towards them. Definitely don't do that. You were about to ask for help, but then blood splatter, alright? Hold it! That blood, was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood?
I think so, probably. Just at that moment, I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Is that right? Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation. Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that? She didn't die that moment, and she struck back at supposedly Godot behind her. Right then? Hold it! Struck back? How do you know that?
Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sounds of her breathing and movement. And also, the smell of blood.
You have witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. So then, what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move. I could just barely make out their shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do.
Could you still see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think so. But
Suddenly they went out and the whole area went dark. There was a thwack to the head from somewhere. Hold it! They went out?
yeah, suddenly, I couldn't see them at all.
But what could it mean? If the red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of a fight...
Maybe the mask was damaged.
Or maybe it was knocked off. Or maybe the batteries ran out. Right? Or maybe those little red pinhead-looking lights just stopped working. What could really happen then? The little hamsters inside the goggles just decided to go on their break and, yeah, stop making the light happen. Just then, there was a horrible scream, right? Hold it! What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
What? A man's voice scream. So then, that scream came from the killer. That's gotta be it.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain,
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered their final blow, I guess.
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me.
It sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. Sounds about right? Oh, there's a contradiction to that. That blood from the orb came from the victim's staff. Wonder if there was more to that one. The blood doesn't match the victims on this knife here, and that was also found. Godot got by a surprise dagger attack. There you go. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. Remember the testimony she just gave? Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the stab have already been plunged into the victim.
Is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite. There's only one thing I can think of that could have been used as the weapon here. If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have used to strike back at the killer?
Secret dagger! Secret dagger! That has not the blood of the victim on it. Secret, 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 secret. Take that!
Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right! I forgot about that! This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree. Yeah, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this! And she managed to wound him as well! Objection! Just because she let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. Objection!
That's already been proved, mate.
Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Ugh. Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere in his body. You could say, Godot is Diego Armando's avatar.
Something to that effect, I guess, yeah.
So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. A DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. Nice theory, Trite. Order! Order in the court!
Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test.
Let me ask you something, Trite. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. That dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes? What does that prove? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it. It can't be! In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance!
What? Not like this.
In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. Alright then, witness. Continue your testimony.
Hold it! Wait a minute!
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation!
Maya!
This dagger, you said that it wounded the killer.
That's right.
But, if Mr. Godot had really been cut with a dagger, his clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
Maya, maybe he just changed his clothes. That'd solve the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all! Remember back to the day of the murder! Everyone that was in the Inner Temple site got trapped there!
Oh, that's right! And once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the Inner Temple, Mr. Godot was already there waiting for them!
He never had the chance to change his clothes!
Ah!
He never had a chance to change bloody clothes. Oh, goodness.
Order in the court! Only could— Objection! Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Ah!
Or did the judges suddenly take smart pills during the last recess?
Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on them. Objection! That's impossible, Trite. You know how cold it gets up there late at night. Uh-huh. After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. Ah! Just throwing out everything right now. Ah. So that's all you got. I knew you were tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here... If Mia Fey were here, she'd have closed the book on this case already. If Mia Fey were here? So come on, Trite. Can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. Wright?
I feel like a big save coming up. Can we do it on our own? Potentially flub it up? Or is it finally time to give in and say somebody else needs to help us out of a stitch?
You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence?
The question is whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer.
Oh, I can prove it. I'm gonna bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it. Ha! That's good. A fighter to the bitter end, Trite. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need.
Let's save it at this point as well, just in case I don't have to go over that again.
Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trite.
Let's just see. What do we have? Do we have anything in particular? Yeah, max damage if I get this wrong. Max damage. Don't think I have it in there. Don't think I have it with that.
Bam, 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 bam.
Let's give it more of a think as we go through. So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you've got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing. There's one place the killer could have hidden its wound. What did you say?
Hidden?
This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound. It's the end of the line. The final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got. And another confidence save, so we don't have to go through all of that over again, just in case I get this wrong. Where is this location where you say the killer hid its wound? I think I gotta really put this through now. I'm gonna say, if when his lights went out... Oh god!
Is that it?
Was the attack that he sustained right under his eye or something? I feel like it might be, because it's a location where, so it's not a piece of evidence. The only thing that is the only thing that's location-wise in our evidence is, like, any of the photos, but that would not give nearly enough for hiding a stain, hiding an injury. So when he was gotten back at, when he was attacking Dahlia fighting back, makes the visor turn off because the attack went for the eyes. That would naturally be the only thing that she'd be able to, that Dahlia would be able to see in the darkness of the night. That'd be the only thing, surely. Right, I'm convinced. He got attacked in the eyes and is very cleverly hiding things under the visor. Has he always lied about this? No, he hasn't lied about it all this time because we've seen Godot before. But anyway, the reason the visors went out in the first place was because the attack went right for the visors to take them off and then get attacked right at those eyes. So there you have it. You're very clearly hiding that eye wound, sir. And that's how we finally get you. Take that! Ha! I don't know what you're talking about. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Isn't that right, Trite? What was that just now? Mia. It can't be. You're living on through him? Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's beneath your mask! During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off from your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. Ah! Oh my god, it actually blew up in his face.
Ah.
17. Just now, I saw her spirit in you. Huh? I never liked you. 6 years ago, you helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I could never forgive you. That's what I thought.
Mr. Godot?
But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person I could never find it in my heart to forgive was me. You yourself? I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me, and no one else. I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal with being a defense lawyer anymore, so I quit. But you saved Maya! Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? If I'd really wanted to save you, then there's one person I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick?
But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother, but I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason?
No. Why?
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
Huh?
I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more. That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. You're wrong! You put your life on the line to save Maya! Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette, part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? In the early drafts, every character from the Fae Clan dies except Maya. Jesus Christ, yeah. Or was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now, I don't know anything anymore. I did learn something today, however. Finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. A stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mir's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off, as a true defender of the people. In that one moment, I understood everything. Mr. Godot. I think you already know this, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando! I believe in you! I know you were trying to save me!
Thanks. Your wound, it's bleeding! It was right into the eyes, wasn't it? Jesus Christ. Huh. Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. Ah! These must be my tears. Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando.
You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. This time, it really is all over, isn't it? Defendant,
Yes, Your Honor?
although you weren't directly involved in the murder, tampering with the body and the crime scene is a serious offense in itself.
I understand, Your Honor. Mr. Armando explained that to me very carefully. I knew the risk, and I willingly cooperated anyway.
Very well. Before I hand down my verdict, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, there is one thing. I'd like to say something to Mr. Wright.
Huh?
I want to apologize to you.
Apologize? To me? For what?
For the case 5 years ago, of course.
I just remembered. Weren't you poisoned by your own lover? Not exactly, but yeah, something like that. Even now, 5 years later, I can hardly believe it. She was gonna do it. She was planning to kill me.
It's not all that surprising. The two of you hardly knew each other.
Huh? What do you mean?
You and my sister? You only met twice.
Huh? We only met twice?
The first time you met me was on that fateful day. The day she poisoned Mr. Armando in the cafeteria of this very courthouse. The next time you met her was 8 months later. You met her again on the day that she stole your cold medicine. and Doug Swallow was killed.
No way! It can't be true! I mean, during our whole relationship, we were...
For those 8 months, the woman that you thought was Dahlia Hawthorne wasn't actually my sister.
Huh? It wasn't Dahlia?
I hope one day you can forgive me, Feeny. Oh!
You mean...
That's right. I lied to you for 8 months.
But why? Why would you do such a thing?
Ever since she gave you the bottle that day, my sister was trying to get it back as soon as she possibly could. Because of the police investigation and the surveillance, she couldn't move about freely.
So that's why you...
My sister, from the beginning, she was prepared for the worst.
Prepared for the worst?
She thought that you might somehow discover the truth. That's why she was always ready to deal with you at a moment's notice.
You mean she was ready to kill me, don't you?
She already had so much to answer for. I didn't want any more sins on her soul. I begged her not to do it, and she agreed to give me a chance.
And that's why you came to me? You came to get the bottle pendant back from me in her place?
But I couldn't get you to give it back. I failed at something even as simple as that. 8 months passed and I still couldn't get it back from you. Finally, my sister couldn't wait any longer. She didn't consult me about her plans for you that day. It was the first time that it ever happened.
That was a bit strange, wasn't it? Up until that day, you two were partners in crime, and she would confer with you.
I think she must have noticed.
Notice what?
My feelings for you. If I had found out she was planning to kill you, I would have done whatever was necessary to stop her. Even if it meant her life. Or mine.
Iris!
After spending those 8 months by your side, my feelings towards you, they changed.
This will change your appreciation for Phoenix's very first scene in the anime adaptation. I need to go back and watch that again if I can. I have something to say to you too.
Yes?
You really are the person I always thought you were. Even after Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty, I still believed in you.
Thank you.
Man. At the end of case one, the Dolly that saw on the witness stand, I don't think that was ever really her. The Dolly I know of could never have said those terrible things. Maybe she was, I don't know, a fake or something. And he was right. Damn. Yeah. How many cups of darkness have I drank over the years? Even I don't know. I'll tell you though. Right now, this one here is the greatest cup I think I've ever had. Number 17 of this case. Don't you think so? Phoenix Wright? Great. Absolutely great. Yeah. I think you're right. Do something quick, just to make sure. The purpose of this trial was to rule on the murder of the victim, Elise Stonim. Let me refocus on the window so I know what I'm doing. At some point, I expect you to be tried for your role as an accomplice in this case.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well. On the charge of murder, I hereby find the defendant not guilty. Court is now adjourned. Imprisoned girlfriend, probably just a few months, like Adrian. Yeah, probably. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. This was kind of a major one with a big load of flim flam about it. We'll have to wait and see. But what is the judge adjourning court for? Why is he adjourning it now? He has a plan. What's his plan? He needs to go and do something, and what is that something? No confetti, not yet. Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. There's no confetti yet. But I think we're waiting on something. I think we're waiting on something else to do. But yeah, why does the judge come? Yeah. Got ya. Court is now adjourned. You've all inspired me to take coffee tasting lessons. I think I will maybe find a new career path in life. Bye-bye. Maybe just didn't deserve confetti at all. Oh, goodness. Okay. February 10th, 4:51 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 1. So, I guess it's all over. The way everything ended. Was justice really served? The man who risked his life to save Maya is being sent to prison by my own hand.
Of course justice was served.
Mia?
I'm proud of you, Phoenix. Your defense was truly brilliant.
But I couldn't save Mr. Armando! The man who cared so deeply for you.
You're wrong, Phoenix. You did save Diego. You saved him in the only way possible.
You mean with that verdict?
I think one day you'll understand too. Phoenix, I want you to remember one thing. You were as good out there today as any defense attorney could ever hope to be. There's nothing more you can learn from me.
Mia?
You've accomplished something I wasn't able to. I owe you a great deal. Thank you.
Mia.
I'm sure we'll meet again. Someday, Phoenix.
I've handled lots of cases and seen a lot of things. And along this journey, I found myself asking just one question. What does it really mean to defend someone? I suppose today's case produced one possible answer.
Nick,
Maya.
I guess it's just like my sis said.
Mia? What did she say?
That night, when I channeled Mia to get her advice on what to do, this is what she wrote back in my notebook.
Don't worry. Phoenix will save everyone in the end.
Oh, come on! Cut it out with that! Come on! Cut it out with that gloomy face! Can't you see? Me, sis, and I'm sure Iris too. We owe you for everything you've done for us, Nick!
Oh, Maya. How can you be so bright and chipper after all that's happened? I'm the one that's close to the verge of tears. But you were brutally attacked? You even saw your mother murdered? Ow! Franziska? She's suddenly back!
Huh, still as softy as always, Phoenix Wright.
Excellent work, Wright.
Huh, Mr. Edgeworth? When did you get back?
Oh, that's right. I guess no one filled her in on that. So Edgeworth and Franziska have actually been helping me.
Helping you?
If these two hadn't been here on the first day of the trial, the defense wouldn't have gotten anywhere.
Wow. But where were you, Nick? I heard you fell into a river and caught a nasty cold which forced you to sleep all day.
Yes, he laid in bed shivering from his fever with Iris's hood pulled over his head.
Oh, ouch! Talk about embarrassing, Nick! You definitely need more training. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. And you too, Francisco?
I don't suppose there's room for me in this group hug, is there?
Oh, Larry?
What's with the longer than usual face? I realized something when I was reborn. I realized that Larry was never of any use to anyone. Not even once.
That's not true. Right, Nick?
What? You're asking me? Well, Nick, is it true? I've got a place in this world, right? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Whoa! Alright, I might as well do a quick snooze here while we welcome people from the Radiant. Hello, Christy! Coming in from your Sonic Rumble Party stream. I hope you had a lovely time with that. And thank you for bringing all of your party over here to see me actually do the ending right now of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. So if you have not seen anything up to this point, I suggest you the moose if you want to see this yourself. But thank you for coming in nonetheless from your raid, Christy. Hope you had a fun time for your stream. If you don't know who I am, I'm Laura Petal. We normally do streams on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays of a variety of playthrough adjacent things, occasional speedrun stuffs, and occasional extra special events on odd days as well. And as I said, we are finishing up on Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations today. So again, if you've not seen anything from this point, I recommend you Vamoose. Go do some post-stream care or anything like that, post-viewer care, whatever else you need to do. But thank you for sending your lot over here, Christy. We do appreciate it. And yeah, if you need to do your post-stream care, go make sure you do that. But if you can stick around, of course, we'd love to have you. And I see a cat there as well. Hi, how you doing, buddy? All right. Oh, I knew it. Everyone would be better off if I were gone for good. No. Oh yeah! Those portraits you painted. They were really good? Isn't that right, Edgeworth? What? Me? Why are you making that face, Archie? Oh, well, yes, indeed. I certainly can't say that they lack resemblance. Do you really mean it? What about you, Francie? Did I draw you well, too? Ah!
My beauty can't possibly be captured by a mere crayon. Nevertheless, I recognize the effort you put into it, and that's worth something.
So then you'll do it? Like you promised? You're gonna model for my next picture book, Francie's Whippity Whip.
Don't get carried away.
Don't do that, Larry. You're still a bit of a simpleton, but we love you. A tad better than yesterday, but still quite far from functional. Well, if you need to take some more rest, then make sure you go do that, yeah? Well, how about that? I guess painting portraits is the only thing I'm good at. The painting of Pearl was pretty darn good too, if you ask me. Huh? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen her around. Pearls. So where could she have gone? Normally she would have been made a beeline for Maya.
Oh, I'll go look for her. Be right back. Hey, Burley!
Right. You seem to be uncharacteristically puzzled. I suspect you are wondering how Maya can be so cheerful despite all that's happened. Yeah.
To be honest, I can't understand it either.
Francisca? That's right, she lost her father fairly recently as well. I think I understand how she feels. Maya is a much wiser person than she appears. And I think she realizes something. Now is exactly the time when she needs to be as strong as she can.
What do you mean by now is exactly the time?
Maya wasn't the only one that was badly wounded by this incident. In fact, there was someone that was hurt far more deeply than she. I believe it's for that person that Maya is trying her best not to cry. Someone who was hurt more deeply than Maya? Edgeworth, I think I'm starting to understand too.
Ow! Then tell me, Phoenix Wright. Who is my fae being strong for?
It's any one of these other fays here. Like, which fae is it gonna be? No, not you. It's one of these fays here. Mother Fae, Cousin Fae, or Sister Fae. It's one of these two. One of these three. I mean, if I feel like it should be actually quite obvious, and like the fact that she's going to look for the little poor kid. I'm gonna go for that first. Yeah, I think it must be Pearl, the most likely thing to do, because while she's still got a relation to keep around. Yeah. Take that!
How fair?
The poor kid. After all, the reason that she worked so hard to follow the instructions was because she loved and believed in her mother, Morgan. It's for the good of the Fae clan. I'm sure she believed in every last word. She thought she was doing it for Maya. That's why she was so happy. It shows how truly devoted she is to Maya. But it's a cruel irony that it was her exuberance that led to this tragedy. Maya Faye's mother was killed and Maya herself was put into the deepest peril imaginable. And that's exactly why Maya is putting on a brave face. She's doing it for Pearl's sake. Until she can see her smile again. Oh, hey! So this is where you all were! Yeah, good gummy's back. Well, what was that for, sir?
Sorry about that, Scruffy. My whip just seems to have a mind of its own.
What's up, Detective Gumshoe? Oh, you know, this and that. Anyway, congrats on your win! Let's go out tonight, pal! Dinner's on me! My salary is sorta kinda gone down by a teeny weeny bit. What's like 5% of the 5 cents I was earning later on? But it's alright! I made reservations at the first-class French restaurant tonight.
Ah! Ooh, pretty good work, Scruffy. That whip was your reward.
Detective Gumshoe? You set up first-class French restaurants. You don't mean... I think we'll do a quick little rest here because I believe that the credits may go over the ending here. So we're going to quickly break. We'll come back. We'll find out the name of this dastardly French restaurant, but I think I know what it is. Oh no, indeed. But we'll find that out after the break so we can get a full look at the credits and have a talk about what we really enjoyed from this one, because this has been a very enjoyable time, absolutely. And we'll talk about what's coming next as well, but we're going to take a quick few minutes of break here in the stream. There's no break in the YouTube highlight. We'll keep on going afterwards. But then, yeah, we'll get around to wrapping up the credits, because I'll imagine there's lots of stuff to say. And, yeah, I will... Was that no location goes and recycles, definitely. But we'll find out where that place is when we come on back from the break, ready for the credits and the ending to everything here. See you in a few moments. What first-class French restaurant do you know about in this vicinity? You don't mean... Très bien! Where else? Oh, I knew it. We're doomed. Come on, let's go, everyone! You can't keep Maggie waiting, pal! Hey, you, Crybaby, you're invited too! Oh, forget about me. Pearl and I will be at the loser shack eating potatoes. Well, you know, Maya is taking an awfully long time to get back. She's still out looking for pearls. Oh, Maya! What's wrong?
Nick? Oh, I do. Pearly? I can't find her anywhere.
Huh? I'll bet she just went back home. That's all.
I thought so too, so I called the village. But no one has heard from her. This has never happened before.
As I figured, she has been badly hurt by this incident. She feels responsible for the tragedy that has befallen you, Maya.
But none of this was her fault. What should I do?
Detective Gumshoe. Yeah, what is it, pal? Could you guys go on ahead? But what about you? Mara and I will... We'll join you guys once we find pearls.
Nick?
Don't worry about us, Detective Gumshoe. We may be a little late, but we'll definitely be there. That! We'll have a lot of celebrating to do tonight, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. Yeah, but you're the... Yeah.
Very well, Phoenix Wright. We'll go on ahead.
Don't keep us waiting, right? We won't.
Where should we look? Where could Pearly have gone?
Let's go, Maya. There's only one place I can think of that pearls might have gone to. If not the village... Ah, right. February 10th, Hazakura Temple, main gate.
Hazakura Temple?
For pearls, I bet this is a very important place. After all, it's where this whole incident started.
Ooh, what's this? You're all back again so soon?
Sister
Bikini? I thought we'd be eating mashed potatoes alone tonight. So she's here? Pearly is here? She's in the training hall. Why did you hurry along and go see her? Okay.
And the gravy got cleaned from the scroll.
But Pearly's not here.
Ah! Maya! The hanging scroll!
Ah! Someone cleaned it off.
It's gotta be pearls.
Ah! Mystic Maya! Pearly? Why did you just leave like that? Mystic Maya? Mystic Maya! I swore that I would never trouble the two of you ever again. Because it's all my fault. It's Maya's mother.
That's why you came here?
It's the least I could do to pray for your happiness. But you don't have to do that, Pearly. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Of course, I'm sad that my mother is gone. But how do I say this? I'm still happy. You don't have to lie just to make me feel better. No, really. It's true. The only reason I'm still here at all is thanks to everyone who was there for me. Huh? My sis, my mother, Mr. Armando, Nick, and you. If even one of you weren't there, I'm sure I wouldn't still be alive right now. That's why I have to be strong. For all the people that were there for me when I needed them. That's all I can really do. Mystic Maya.
I'm impressed! You truly are the daughter of Mystic Misty!
Oh, Sister Bikini!
Your mother, Mystic Misty, was a strong woman indeed. I want to tell you what she said to me that night.
After dishonoring the good name of Karine, I don't have the right to face my daughter. But still, Maya is always in my thoughts. It's true. She'll always be with me until the day I die.
Your spirit was with her. That's why your mother was so strong. Even at the end, I'm sure she had no regrets. She'll always be with me until the day I die, huh? There's a rule or something all masters are to follow, isn't there? to never take the charm off until the day you die.
That's the Master's talisman!
The thing that Misty kept by her heart and would never take off. It wasn't the container that was important. Rather, it was the contents.
That's...
A photo? Mother!
It's only natural for living creatures to fight to protect their own lives. But what makes us human is that we fight for others. But who do you fight for? How hard must you fight? That's the true measure of what human life is worth. We defense attorneys are warriors who are constantly challenged by that question. Even when the battle is over, and the bonds that connect us are severed, we always return, time and time again. Mia, Maya, Pearls, Mr. Armando, and Maya's mother too. I learned that from all of them. Well, shall we get going? Everyone is waiting. An unofficial Fae tradition to break the the thing, yeah. My own Phoenix and Casery, I used to break things all the time when I was little. Well, Pearls and Edwin seem to have picked up where you left off, with the same object. That poor army parts, yeah.
Huh?
This is a day to remember. A day when a lot of things are finally put to rest. I think we should celebrate what we've overcome today.
But I still can't.
Oh, go on, sweetie. You can come back for training anytime.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna make a brand new start too. Sister Bikini, I'll be back for more training. I promise.
I know. And I won't go easy on you just because you're the future master. I'll make sure to prepare reservations for 3 when you come back.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna have a great feast today, Pearly. You know why? Because training is a battle of endurance. Okay, Mystic Maya. I'll eat lots and lots of food tonight.
You know, there's one thing I still don't get. And probably don't want to, but
What is it, Nick?
reservations for training is fine and all, but why for 3?
Oh, come on. What do you think? You're one of us, Nick. Next time you can train right alongside us.
Ah! I'll be waiting for you. Sister Bikini will take special care of you. Ah! Ah! Ah!
It'll be great, Nick. We're gonna do the special course naturally. That's a great idea. And after all, Mr. Nick, you'd do anything for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you? Even walk on hot coals, right? We'll have a nice big meal before we come next time, right, Nick?
You know, I was wondering if I could change just one little thing. Just one tiny thing, and then I'll get out of here.
Sure, of course you can. Oh, I love this part. I can't wait to hear it.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps too! Well then, here goes nothing. Objection! Say the line, Phoenix. The pot stuff is more than it. Oh wait, I gotta read these.
I'll really have to work extra hard now. Master of Karine and the office manager of Ride & Co. Law Offices. And I have to be a good big sister to Pearly and Nick too. Well, as long as I'm not locked up or captured or something like that.
Don't entertain the chance to be in a damsel in distress again, Maya, for God's sakes! Alright,
Pearly. So it's true. Mr. Nick really is Mystic Maya's knight in shining armor.
He went through with the special course all the way to the end. Actually, I heard there's a legendary extra special ultra course here too. I think I'll surprise the two of them by making them a secret reservation.
Oh, Pearly, you're a sweet summer child. Damn. Oh, new Coke Gummy! Maggie bought me a brand new coat as a present, pal! I feel 10 years younger. I'll never take it off.
Yeah, but somehow you just don't seem the same. I guess the dirty, shabby old Wolfgard is just more like detective like, sir.
Eh, don't worry about it. In the name of love, a man will soil himself silly. In the name of love, a man will poop himself. Is that what you're saying, Gumshoe? Jesus Christ, dude. You got away with words.
Mr. Wright, I'm once again in your debt. Thanks to you, the Treasures of Quran exhibit was a great success. I even got to see Miss Fontana, who I hadn't seen for almost a year. She taught me how to use the whip and said that I must show you what I've learnt.
Oh boy, this is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 whip users out there. How dare. Oh, God almighty. Yes, love it.
Tessie and I started a company called Master Mass Consulting.
We're dedicated to stopping the evil plans of all the criminals in the city.
Our motto is cut it out, please!
Pretty cute, huh?
Well, we also sell plans to the criminals as a kind of side business. I wonder if that's okay. Sometimes I think maybe we're the worst criminals.
Oh, the delights of being a delight. Who's after that?
I wanted to show my appreciation to Mr. Wright for exterminating Dung Tigre, so I lent him $500,000 and a tea set. A special thick tea, one I mix with my own 2 hands. I bet he's drinking it right now. Went through compromise.
Very scary. Very scary tea, I guess,
I'm just standing in the way. A wrinkly, grumpy clown knows waste of flesh. At least that's what I thought. But my grandkids have a birthday party for me the other day. Oh, talk about embarrassing. 69, nice years old, and I cried like a baby with a dirty diaper.
At least he's a nice age, I'll give him that. Do people even... Ah, you.
As usual, we have an abundance of work to do. We've hired a new programmer to replace Glenn Elk. I do hope everyone will get along. His name is Adam Modder. As soon as I heard his name, I knew our brain circuits would align perfectly.
Of course it would. Also, was that meant to be like somebody's visage from the dev team? I don't know.
My, more reporters! Oh, since the murder, we've made so much money, I hardly know what to do. I think the magazines like us because I provide such a nice visual, especially in spring. I can't wait for Iris to come back.
I'm gonna say, do we have an Iris line to end this off with, maybe? Yep, another palindrome user. Yep, Adam Mudder.
Oh, yes, we do.
You've turned into such a respectable man, Feeny. It was so sweet of you and everyone else to come and visit me here the other day. Of course, I was happy that you constantly had your eyes on me, but I felt kind of bad when the little one slapped you so hard you got a nosebleed.
Because Pearly thinks you only have one voice in it. Oh, we actually got voice lines. Objection! They actually credited Sam Riegel doing the objections. Nice. All of the incidentals, actually great. And then Edgeworth had Seon King. The demon is laying their tricks again. Good girl, Mia, always.
Ta!
Very much so. Love doing Mia. And then for Mr. Gorgo. And Mr. Diego Armando. Very nice, sir. And Francisca? Oh, that was Janet Sue herself. Wow. Oh, and even the pain has to have one.
Yes, even I have to have my own voice actors.
Oh God.
What's this? I'm back from a long retired vacation, and no one is here to greet me! I guess while I was gone, my little whippersnapper buddy couldn't have got no one! And what kind of lonely, crazy security room is this supposed to be anyway? What with all the flashing lights and switches, I feel like some sort of space alien! And now what am I going to do with all these macadamia nuts I brought back to everyone? If I bring them to the edge pill, I don't really say exactly what it is. I really can't just I'm afraid of playing into fragile heart. Oh, will I ever find a chance to treat me like a fine lady?
Because the one person we missed in this entire game was frickin' Old Bag. I finally found something I love to do! Francie's whippity whip trip is gonna turn the art world on its head! I should have realized it sooner. Self-centered, lazy, antisocial. I am an artist! A really good portrait artist! I'm not a loser after all! Mama, I made it! Damning. Godosa was by creator of Okami in Japan. Oh, wow. If that's the case. Okay, fair enough, but you do a good visage. You do a good collection of drawings, definitely. And even those that are gone. And that is your lot. That is your lot! I've managed to do it all! I'm very proud of myself! Woo! Yeah, fabulous trilogy. It's definitely had its, there are certainly moments that are way better than anything than others. I think we went through one of the best moments of the entire trilogy there with that, 3-5 case ending. In fact, the entirety of 3-5 was absolutely enjoyable. But what a generally just, I think, really good time overall. And yeah, claps all around, claps all around. Finally managed to do it. See it all from my own eyes. I definitely have some of my favorite characters. I understand that some of the other people's in there, you've really just got to fight through how they're done to make it through, because some of them have really been done in ways that are designed to be, you know, irritable or very unlikable. You just want to get them down right now. But oddly, through being here and seeing some of those characters firsthand and playing them, I definitely had a lot of fun playing them. But I can totally see like how others are like, I don't know about this kind of character. Their characterizations are kind of a bit meh. Never thought that would be a day to have all the games in the series on the same console and in physical copies. We're still missing the crossover, but still. Yeah, we're still missing the crossover. Unless that somehow creeps up behind all of us, I don't know, because that's going to be something for, I think, Capcom and Level 5 to agree on. But if it happens, never say never. I don't know if we'll be able to fit it in timeline-wise in terms of, like, in-game timeline order, because, like, basically, I think the understanding for the crossover game is that happens directly after this point. That's what I would think. And then, like after, or maybe even during the events of the investigation series, which is entirely possible. But yeah, we just need to see if or / when we get ourselves that a more readily accessible version of that without having to have me find my old 3DS again, find some way to hook it to capture cards and make it all work like that. That would be just quite a lot of work. But you know, never say never. If it does turn around, I'm sure I will find some point to slot it in. But yeah, I'd say for this series overall, yep, seeing it all for the first time, definitely did have a great old time. Where in the timeline for either series it takes place is obscured on purpose. Like it takes place like either side of it all, something like that.
Bartender.
Like vaguely during the times of investigations. I think it's meant to be a bit vague like that, yeah. There's my drink TV antenna, thank you very much. Excuse me about that one. But that has been a very, very fun time. And yeah, the one woman show still doing this all together is still going strong. I've had a fun time doing every single one of those characters. Some of them I definitely have strength in doing others and doing it in from... I definitely have strength in doing some characters over others, I feel like. I definitely enjoyed trying out some of the all the various amounts of characters as well, you know. I think some of my standouts from the Trials and Tribulations game in particular, I just love doing me, look at me. I love doing that for some reason. And for some reason, I even enjoy doing Le French Jean Armstrong, oui, monsieur, mais l'amour. I somehow enjoy doing that, even though people say is a bit over the top for the for a trope, over the top for his characters, but I just enjoyed doing the performances. I just enjoyed figuring out the solutions as and when, even though some of them definitely took more than others. You are back. Did you win? We win. We are good. We are good defense attorney. Yes, we did win, and it is all done and wrapped up, which means I think I'll just quickly use this time. So I think I know what our... You're gonna get a behind the scenes here. Usually I do this after the fact, but I'll have some time right now to fit this in. I think there's only one person I can think of that can be on our thingy highlight. The look at me will speak. Yes, naturally, I should be the most peak. I will be the most peak character out there. I am Look at Me, Ace Detective, and also Ace character of the video game. Yes. I love doing that for some reason. But anyway, as for this highlight here, you're gonna get a bit of a behind the scenes look. Here's our thumbnail. Nice and easy, right there. I feel like it can be none other than that, I would say. It is all Mr. Phoenix doing his good jobs. Right, just gonna open up Paint and put this in and make it into a punga afterwards. But there you go, there's your sort of behind the scenes of how I've been making the thumbnails. I think I'll end up missing that in the other versions of the, in later collections. Because, yeah, when I get around to, what is it, the Ace Attorney Investigations collection is our next stop in the Grand Ace Attorney chronology playthrough. Not sure how I get around to the thumbnail making for that one, because I'm pretty sure that does not have, like, a decent, like, scene editor thingy in it. So there you go. There's an advanced thing in that one. There's an advanced way to do the thumbnail stuffs in Ace Attorney Investigations. Well, when we get there, I suppose I will go and find that out. But yes, it will be Edgeworth time next time we come back to the Ace Attorney series. Starting next episode with the start of Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. That is where we go next time here, now that the trilogy, the original trilogy that is all wrapped up. That actually puts us, I think, halfway through thereabouts with the number of games that are in this chronology. We did the 2 Great Ace Attorneys, and then the 3 original trilogies, and all that's left are the 2 Miles Edgeworth games, and then the 3 Apollo Justice trilogy games. So, yeah. We basically made it to the halfway point. It's taken us a long time to get here, and there will be much more time left in this series for sure. But with the way I have been thoroughly overjoyed, entertained, and had right on laughs with the series so far, I think going onwards will be okay. We'll be okay to keep it going. It will be a fun time, and I invite you all to join me for that too. In the meantime, if there's anything in today's episode that you've missed in the VOD, in the stream, then we have a VOD for you coming at some later point in time where you can watch all of this back, and you can enjoy everything to do with that. Why is that listening? I don't need that one there. Okay, right. But anyway, yes, the Laura Petal VOD channel is over there, and this episode will be made without any of the breaks in between, uninterrupted, without any ad breaks in between. In a few days' time, so check it back there if you have not already seen, and go check out all the videos that are there as well. And if you are watching this in YouTube land right now, I hope you had a fun time with our finale episode today in Trials and Tribulations.
Do let me know if you enjoyed it and let me know what you think by liking and commenting down below. And go further with your love and support for the channel by subscribing and clicking the bell as well. We love it when you do that. It does support the channel out very much. And see the links in the description for this video as well, where you can see my social links, Discord invite, and the Twitch link there as well. If you want to see these live streams done live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the regular, we would love to have you. Maybe you could be there right now, and I could be even starting the next step in our Ace Attorney chronology playthrough. But yes, now that the trials and tribulations are over for now, a new path opens up and begins tomorrow. From a new perspective entirely, we go see our good boy Miles Edgeworth as we tackle the start of the Ace Attorney investigation series next time. That's gonna be a big old load of fun. New mechanics to play with, new ways to do things, and I am going to, hopefully, have a great time with that too, as I have done with this entire Ace Attorney trilogy. Seeing where it all began, and thoroughly loving the heck out of it. Very good stuff. And that will do for today. If we have made your day better as a result of this video, I love that you decided to give us a time of day, and I hope I get the chance to do this again for you at some point in the future. But please stay and stay awesome. Please check out the rest of my highlights and rest of my playlist from the YouTube side if you want to, of course. But yeah, until the next time we see each other, maybe for the start of the Miles Edgeworth games, do stay and stay awesome. Please have a safe time with whatever you've got planned next. Just know that I love and appreciate you all. Thank you for watching the entirety of this episode, and maybe even the entirety of the chronology playthrough so far. And now that we've reached the halfway point, there's more where that came from, as we start a new path with Ace Attorney Investigations next time. But that's it from us today. I want to thank you all for watching once again. And until the next episode of whatever that may be, I want you all to please take care of yourselves and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much, and see you soon.